comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another Wi-Fi battle for you. My name is Squidprints, and today I'm using one of my favorite teams of all time, one of my Trick Room teams. And today we're going up against Sven. He is bringing a Mega Latias. I was looking for a battle on Showdown one day, and he said, "Hey, I'll battle you, but is it okay if I use Mega Latias?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. You know, bring what you want. I'll do my best against it, and let's see what happens." So he does have a pretty threatening team. He's got the always bulky Porygon 2, along with Exactadrill with a combination of T-Tar. He has the Milotic, which is always so bulky, and the Breloom, which also can be a threat. I've seen that thing sweep many a teams by itself. So I really don't have to fear Spore too much because I do have Gourgeist Super, and I also have Trevenant, so I'm not too worried about it. But also, I have a new poke with me today, and it's my Aegislash. I ended up making like a fully, dead-on balls crazy offensive Aegislash mixed with like max special attack, quiet nature, and then 252 in attack as well. So this Aegislash is meant for Trick Room, so I could hit on both special and physical side, carrying dual stab and priority. So I got Sneak Shadow, Shadow Ball, Iron Head, and I believe Flash Cannon. I may have switched Flash Cannon out for something else, but I cannot remember at the moment. Also, I have my Electros, which is my mix set with, I believe this one was U-Turn, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Grass Knot with an Expert Belt. The Trick Room Trev set that I made up, my Trick Room Reuniclus, and then I slapped the Assault Vest on good old Leroy the Grand Bull. So this was definitely a fun battle. I had a lot of fun with this one. Definitely mentally stimulating. So I'll show you what happened in it. So I really don't know anything about Mega Latias, just because, first of all, I don't really use legendary Pokemon, and two, I never, looked up the stats for it. So I'll get more into that later as the battle gets on. So I'm going to lead off with Gourgeist because I want to set up a Trick Room, and he's going to end up leading with T-Tar, which I was hoping that he would, because I have a special strategy with this Gourgeist, but you'll see that later as well. So he ends up switching out first, I guess fearing the Will-O-Wisp, but I'm going to go for a Trick Room, and not wanting to take an Ice Beam or anything, I'm going to end up switching out here, just because I want to keep my Gourgeist at as much health as I can, so that it is able to take at least one hit before my plan commences. Now, I switch out here, and I'm going to end up going into Capri. Now, I have the Trick Room up. I can scare the Milotic out because he's fearing, fearing Horn Leech. So he actually ends up switching out to his Porygon as I switch out to Trevenant, which it's a really good situation for me because I do have Power Up Punch, and I also have Horn Leech to recover after he goes for Ice Beam. Now, I go for the Power Up Punch, and I do get my +1. So now, Trevenant at +1 with a plus attacking nature is pretty scary. Now, he ends up going for the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, I don't take it as well as I thought I would, especially with the Sand buff. So I'm not going to be able to take another one. So I'm pretty much forced to go for the Horn Leech here, which at +1, I was impressed. It does do, more damage than I thought it would, especially to a Porygon 2. Those things are so bulky, it's ridiculous. So he's going to end up going for another Ice Beam, and I am going to be able to take this one as well, but just enough, and I am going to be able to live the Sandstorm buff, which is 9 HP, which is very good. So now I will be able to go for the Horn Leech as well. Now he knows that I'm pretty much forced to go for Horn Leech here. So he's going to go out into a straight Flexen, which is his Breloom, to pretty much resist the attack, so I can't get his back as much HP as I normally wanted. And he also knows, because he's probably keeping count, that Sandstorm and Trick Room are going to end on this turn. Now, that's pretty much going to force me out, because I don't want to take a Bullet Seed or whatever else he may be packing. Now I'm going to bring in Lemon Drop here. Lemon Drop is immune to the Mach Punch, the Drain Punch, and also it can take Bullet Seeds for days. It's not worried about it. So, unfortunately for me, he actually ends up getting all 5 Bullet Seeds. So, it's nothing really, too hard to worry about. it would be nice if it was affected by Rocky Helmet, because that is my item. But it's not, because it's not a physical contact move. So he's going to end up switching out, which is going to give me an advantage to set up another Trick Room. So he is going to go back into the Porygon. I will end up going for the Trick Room. I know he knows that I'm going to go for the Trick Room. So he is going to be able to end up going for a recover, because I really can't do much to him, and I'm pretty sure he knows that. So my best move to go for is Will-O-Wisp, just because any residual damage on a Porygon is helpful. If you've ever gone against one, you know how bulky and annoying they can be. Now, I want to take this opportunity to switch out, because I don't want to stay in, because I can't hit it with my stab, my Shadow Ball, which I'm carrying with me. So I'm going to go into Shock Top, my Electros, and what I was going to do, my plan was I was going to go into it, take a hit, and then I was going to U-turn out. But unfortunately, he ends up getting the Freeze Hacks, and I'm pretty much down a Pokemon here. I will not be able to unfreeze, and he will be able to just eventually take me out. It is going to take a little bit, because Electros is bulky. He does get a crit. I'm not really mad about the Freeze Hacks, because it's part of the game. You can't help it sometimes. Hacks happen. So he's going to end up going for a recover. He's going to take advantage of the fact that I'm frozen. I really can't touch him anyway. And he will end up taking me out. And I also lose the Trick Room that I set up, as you see there. So that's kind of, that's just, not the best or ideal situation I wanted to be in. So now I just have to wait for one more Ice Beam to happen. And this way he'll finally be able to take me out, so I can start putting my plans into motion here. I was hoping that in the course of, I think it was like 5 turns, I would have unfrozen, but I didn't. So he's just going to stay frozen and die. Now I'm going to take this opportunity and go into Baby Uni, my Reuniclus. I know the T-Tar's coming in, but I'm not worried about it, because I have a Life Orb, I have Focus Blast, and Tyranitar is 4 times weak to it. But folks, I have to tell you, this T-Tar is 1 in a million. Now, first of all, I have to hit Focus Blast, which fortunately happens, as you see here. But this T-Tar lives. I have never in my life seen a Tyranitar live a Life Orb Focus Blast from a Reuniclus. I understand that it has the boost from the Sandstorm, but he must be, a hefty amount of special defense in there, because that is ridiculous. And he's not even Assault Vest. But I end up going for a Shadow Ball, because I didn't want to risk the Focus Blast missing. And I thought, Life Orb, I know it's resisted Sandstorms up, but I thought from that range I could have killed. I was correct, it would have killed, but what had saved him was the Leftovers recovery, and he lives on just that little smidgen of health, that little guy. So, oh, excuse me. Oh, jeez. So I'm going to end up Brandon Leroy. I do have the Trick Room still up, so I'm just going to go for the safe Earthquake. I don't want to risk missing a play rough. Now, he may think that I'm choiced in some way, because it shows no Life Orb, no Leftovers, no anything. So now he may think that I'm locked into Earthquake. So he's going to go into his Exactadrill. Now, I believe he thinks I'm choiced because he's on an air balloon. However, I'm not choiced, and I can actually go for a close combat, which is super effective, and take the Exactadrill out. So I did get a critical hit. I'm not sure if that mattered or not. I know that Exactadrill does have a lot of HP, but his defense isn't, optimal. And most of them I see usually run, max speed, max attack. So I'm not sure if that mattered or not. Now, he's going to end up bringing the Latias in now. So I want to switch out. And here I'm going to bring Capri in, because I want to fodder it off, because I normally would go for a play rough. However, with the defense drops, I don't want to take a hit. Even though I do have an Assault Vest, it would put me at neutral. But I have no idea what these things are going to do. I haven't ever gone up against a Mega Latias. This is my first time, so I'm going to be a little cautious around it. So now I'm going to end up foddering off Capri. I'm going to bring my Grand Bull back in. The Intimidate goes off, but that's completely irrelevant. I'm going to go for a play rough, because nothing really wants to take a play rough. So he's going to end up switching into his Milotic here. Milotic is actually going to take this hit a lot better than I originally thought it would. Like, it does a decent amount. It's probably like, 30% after Leftovers. So I don't want to stay in because I want to keep my Granbull at as high of health as it can, just because, you know, I do have max HP, so I want as much like little necessary bulk as I can. So he's going to end up going for a Scald. Now this play is actually pretty big, because if he would have burned me, then that means that I wouldn't have been able to live an Ice Beam coming on the next turn. Now, I need to set up my Aegislash here. If I set up my Aegislash, then it should leave me, you know, in really good position to start like sweeping around. I get the Trick Room up. I do end up living. Now I need to get rid of the Milotic, and this is the strategy I have. I go for a Trick Room, and I want to be able to live at least one hit, so I set the Trick Room up and bait them into killing me, because I can go for the Destiny Bond, which I would go first now because the Trick Room's up, and now I could take away, you know, a big threat that they have. In this situation would be the Milotic. They're so bulky, so hard to take down. It's so tempting just to get rid of a Gourgeist. And now, not only does it take down a huge threat on his team, but now it leaves me a free switch in to, you know, 4 turns of Trick Room left to do whatever I want. So now I bring in the Aegislash. He's going to bring in his Breloom here. I resist both attacks, but, you know, he's not going to switch out. He's just going to fodder it off because nothing else wants to take a hit. I'm going to end up going for an Iron Head that is going to be enough to take it out. I am not only fully invested in attack and special attack, but I'm also running Life Orb. So this thing is hitting like a Mack truck. Ridiculous amounts of power coming from this. Now, I'm going to end up going for the Iron Head on the Porygon too, just because I know they run normally more especially defensive, and I wanted a stab attack that would, you know, hit it hard. And also there's a chance to flinch. So there's that as well. Now, he goes for the Discharge. I still can take it, and I am going to end up going for the Iron Head, and that's going to be able to take it out. Now, his last Pokemon he has is the Mega Latias. Now, I was looking up stats, and I didn't see the fact that the Trick Rooms had turned, so I figured I would have one more turn. I could finish the game here and go for Shadow Ball and take it out. Unfortunately, he's that guy, and he has HP Fire on it, and he ends up taking me out, but that's my own fault. I wasn't paying attention. But I still have Leroy in my back pocket, so I'm not worried. I'm pretty confident that a Play Rough could take this guy out. So he's going to end up going for a Psyshock. I know I can live it because I do have the Assault Vest on. And I was like, oh, here it goes, here it goes. And it lived. Oh, man, it lives on just that little tiny bit. He's going to go for another Psyshock. I thought maybe I could live it on Mixed Man variants, but he gets a critical hit. Takes that pretty much out of my hands, and he ends up living on just that tiny smidgen, taking the game. So if I would have gone for Shadow Sneak, I would have locked the game up. However, I enjoyed that battle a lot. I thought it was a really good battle. If it was a regular Latias, you know, probably would have killed. But it is what it is. I said it was okay. Definitely enjoyed the battle. Sven, if you want to battle again, let me know, because that was definitely a solid one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, bye.